In this lesson, we're going to learn how to create a basic template in Ignition. The template that I want to create is this graphic that I've made on the screen here, which is actually two different Ignition components. The top is a symbol factory graphic that I've actually cut out a part of so I can see through to the level indicator that's behind the scenes. When they're on top of each other here, it actually looks like I've created my own custom tank. That's different than the cylindrical tank that Ignition provides. So I want to create a template out of this so I can define all this in one place and use it many times throughout my project. So let's go up here in the top in the project browser and right click on the templates folder to create a new template. I'm going to right click to rename this template. I'm going to call it my tank. Now every template you create has to have at least one parameter, which is a property that will get exposed on the window so that we can bind that to a tag or to a calculation or to a query. So we can right click on the checkered area of the template, go down to Customizers, Custom Properties to identify all the parameters we want on the template. There are two areas of parameters, template parameters at the top and input internal properties at the bottom. The ones on the top actually get exposed to the user on the window, whereas the ones at the bottom, they're only used within the template itself and you can't see them anywhere else. So I want to add a template parameter at the top. I'm going to click on the plus icon on the top right. I'm going to call my parameter value, and the data type here, I want mine to be integer, but you can specify whatever data type you want. There's also this drop target here. Let's go ahead and check it, and I'll talk about what that's going to do in just a second. So let's go ahead and press OK, and I'm going to go back to my window. I'm going to copy and paste these two graphics that I've made, actually cut them and put them inside of my template. Make my template a little bit bigger. I'm going to paste them inside. Now when you're creating templates, it's really important that you don't want them to have all this dead space. So you want to nudge them right up against your components so it's only that size. The last thing I have to do is actually link the level indicator to the parameter of the template. If I don't link it, they'll never get to see the value that I linked to a tag inside the template. So I'm going to go here to my level indicator, come down to the value property. I'm going to bind it to a property which is going to be the template parameter that I added called value. I'm going to go ahead and press OK, and now my template is done. I can use it on any window. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the X down there to close the template, to save it, and then now I can actually drag it onto a window. So I can take this my tank, drag it onto my window, and now you'll see the graphic. I can drag it on multiple times. At the bottom you'll see a parameter here called value that we can bind to a tag or to a calculation or to a query. I'm going to go ahead and bind mine to a tag. I'm going to go here and select N7:0, press OK, and I'll start seeing the value come through. Now you remember earlier I selected the drop target checkbox of that template. That's a really important one because basically you're saying that that is the property that I would like to link a tag to. So we use that property on the drag and drop system. So if I take N7:0 tag and I drag it onto the window and I let go, it asks me what I want to do with that tag. Now, of course, I can create display components and control components that come with Ignition. But if I go down to templates, you will see that my tank shows up in this templates area. And that is because the data type of that property matches the data type of the tag. So we can actually automatically bind that to the tag for you. So if I click it, you see that it's on the screen and it's there for me. If I go down to another tag, let's say I go down here to another level tag, I drag it onto the screen, and I go down here to templates and say my tank, you'll see that that one, of course, has a different value. So I can use this template many times throughout my system. If I ever want to change it, I can go back to the master, make a change, and it will be there everywhere.